Well, the trial resumes tomorrow in Miami, Florida, for a man accused of murdering a nurse. That nurse was a Utica native who had moved to Florida in the 1970s. The murder happened in 1977. Now, her family from Clayville is in Miami for that trial. News Channel 2's Gary Liberatore has more on this family's long wait for justice that could finally conclude this week.
It was August of 2016 when I was having dinner at Zeb's in New Hartford, and a man named Brian Pantola right here from Clayville, sitting at the next table, said to me, "You might want to meet the two guys that he and his wife were having dinner with." Those two guys were actually cold case detectives from Miami, Florida, in town to inform Brian and his family that there was an arrest in the case of the murder of his sister Deborah Clark, who was murdered in her condo in Coral Gables, Florida in 1977. Brian Pantola told me by phone from Florida Sunday morning that this 42-year wait for justice has been excruciating for his entire family.
Having such an unknown in your life for decade after decade after decade, then all of a sudden, as the word I used before, it's just surreal, you know, it's really happening.
Pantola, his wife, his sister, and nephew will continue to be in court in Miami until a verdict is reached, which could be later this week.
It's encouraging. It's scary. You know, you're happy, you're sad, you're feeling all the emotions. And we went and saw where she lived yesterday. We went and saw where she worked. And, you know, those kinds of things are just something after over 4+ decades. It's amazing.
Pantola's sister Deborah moved to Florida in 1975. She was a nurse at Coral Gables Hospital and met an older man in his 30s, a real estate developer named Alan Bregman, who was married. In court this week, the Miami Herald took video of opening statements and are allowing us to use it.
The defendant convinced Deborah Clark to take out a life insurance policy with the defendant as the beneficiary. The defendant knew he had to deal with the biggest problem in a divorce, Deborah Clark.
Prosecutors claim Bregman killed Deborah after his wife found out about the affair.
He lost control. He became enraged. He shot her. He beat her with his hands and with the gun. And he beat her with that gun that the plastic gun grips fell apart in pieces.
Prosecutors say Bregman bought the condo for Clark to live in and for them to continue their affair in while he was still living with his wife.
He goes through that townhouse and he eliminates all traces of himself. Shoes, clothing, photos. It's all gone when the police find her body on August the 6th, 1977, or so he thought. What he didn't realize is during that vicious beating of Deborah Clark, he left one hair on her lifeless, dead body.
Alan Bregman did not kill the woman he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. Alan Bregman did not kill his girlfriend because his wife wanted a divorce.
Take a look at this picture of Brian Pantola that he sent to me from Florida. You can actually see Deborah's hospital ID right there hanging from his shirt. He says he wears it every day in court during this trial. He says it makes him feel closer to his sister. We'll keep you posted on the trial as it continues in Miami this week. Gary Liberatore, News Channel 2.